Yeah, welcome to today's episode of Parenting a Teen. And let me invite Kim into this. I hope it will be easy to invite her. Sometimes it has issues. I hope your week has been amazing and you are excited for this. We normally have such amazing conversations, to be honest. So it would be great if you just listen to the end. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section. Hi, Kim. You
Hi.
see? Hi, yeah, how are you doing? I cannot see you.
I
Is
know,
this
I don't
like
know why my button's not working.
dip the phone in water?
Oh my goodness, why is it not working? Oh, hey.
Uh, turn it on. Yeah, I was about to tell you turn it. I was about to tell you turn it on and off. Yeah. Anyway, how are you
Look
doing?
at you. You look so pretty.
It's the fake hair.
Yeah, it's the outfit. Look
Oh,
at you.
it's a dress, and I put some effort.
I feel a little underdressed today.
Let me tell you, I am always overdressed for anything. Yeah, if I'm going out, yes, overdressed. Sometimes yeah, you can you'll never catch me out looking like I'm, f- I'm homeless. Never,
Yeah,
unless
no.
I'm really sick. Yeah, so I
Yeah,
try my
no.
best.
Even when I'm sick, I don't.
Yeah. Chris told me you never go out without your makeup. You always beat up.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to teach me about makeup. I know nothing, zero.
Well, I mean, I don't do or go heavy, as you can see on the makeup. And as of lately, I don't wear any foundation.
Yeah.
So just moisturizer
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
is what I do. So I,
Same.
even though I wear makeup, I'm not like all made up, like all
Yeah.
fancy. I'm
Yeah.
not that.
Yeah, but I thought makeup is like, yeah, moisturizer, sunscreen, and then foundation. Then I don't know those
Oh yeah,
things.
there's different things you can use to highlight, and
Yeah.
then other things to create the shadow, to
Yeah.
do all
Yeah.
that with the face and
I,
but
I'm
I
definitely,
definitely don't do all that.
yeah, to be honest, I'm definitely learning that. I will learn that from you. I think yeah, because I'd want, like, when I go out, yeah, obviously also not something heavy, like I don't like heavy makeup, just like really light, like
Yes.
it's good. I feel like it's actually good to put some effort
Yeah.
to make your skin look nice. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I, like to do those collagen masks. So like
Ah,
at least once a week. And matter of
yeah.
fact, I got it here on the TikTok shop. And it
Ah,
really is that awesome. And you put it on,
wow.
it takes about 3 hours for it to, dry. But I
Yeah,
sleep in mine. So I just wait like the 20, 30 minutes. Actually, I wait like an hour before I even lay down to go to sleep. So I do it early
yeah.
in the night when I do it. And yeah, it works really, really nice.
Collagen mask. So I don't know if I told you this. Thank you. Sorry, there's someone here. Hello, Kipla, Roho Safi. Nice to see you here. Thank you, Nash. Thank you, everyone who's joining. Please like the live and share. So we're talking about the face, makeup and all that, and taking care of the face. And I went to do like a comprehensive face thing, right? And I was told like there's a lot that needs to be done because I have like acne scars from the past, dealing with acne, and then there was black, like it is a pigmentation of the skin also. is not so good. So yeah, so
Mm.
there's a lot to be done, and it's expensive. It's almost like $3,000 to do the whole procedures.
Yowzers.
Yeah, that takes 6 months.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is a great thing to be for any of those youngins out there to
yeah,
take care of your skin. I mean, I wish I would have done a lot better, but I lived in the sun and played in the sea. So,
yeah,
and I ran from my mom when she tried to do the sunblock, and it's not good. Where
yeah,
you got to take care of that skin. Put that sunblock on, moisturize, put that toner on, wash
yeah,
your face every day. Now, I did do that.
yeah.
But as far as moisturizing, toners, I didn't really do any of that. And it doesn't take that long to do,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
I discovered the whole skin thing at like 24 or 25, like starting to apply moisturizer, sunscreen, and all those things. Because I mean, no one tells you that. So I think it's actually a good thing. I think with my son now, I'm going to be like, by the time he's like turning 18, I'm able to like be like, yeah, moisturizer. Even now, like, yeah, he does, but I don't want to like introduce him to those other things, the ones that are a bit more active. Like a moisturizer makes sense. Nice cleanser makes sense. Just to
Yeah.
start early. But now the thing that I've discovered also, like some of these products are highly disruptive when it comes to our hormones. So also that you have to be careful that the product you're using is a safe product. Like it's not one of those with
Read the
toxic.
ingredients.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, check on those ingredients, make sure that it's safe. And
I
I
have
think the
to,
biggest, sorry,
mhm.
the
I have
biggest,
to, oh, sorry.
sorry, it's okay, proceed.
You were talking about your son, and so it reminded me because my son too, same age. But my
Yeah,
poor baby is just the hormones are hormoning,
yeah,
and just like he's breaking out. And so, especially like right here, and he hates it.
same here.
I'm going to start getting him into, a good face washing routine. And he does have
Yeah,
some stuff from the doctor that, he puts in because he has this other skin condition that, is hereditary because his dad had it and his
yeah,
brother had it. And it's not
yeah,
eczema. I forgot the name of it. And so he has to put this cream, and it's just like on his upper arms and his cheeks where it's just like a little bumpy. So, but it's not eczema, but it can be mistaken for that. So,
oh, okay.
so yeah, so he has to have that. So I'm trying to, now that he knows how to wash himself, because I didn't tell him,
Yeah.
I must tell him how to wash his face
And
with a
yeah,
cleanser.
yeah,
So I'm not accused, and I can have this um, as the receipt that I was going to do this for him. So I'd be like, go watch that video. I talked about it. And that day, remember, it was on this because they'll be documented at the time. I came and talked to you about it, son. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I think the
can't
whole
forget about our boys.
yeah, because we focus more on the girls. I think the whole acne thing is sucks. Um, yeah, especially since I had it. So Aiden also has acne, like it's breaking out in his face. But yeah, I mean, it's more of like just clean your skin really well, and then apply moisturizer. That's it. So I don't want to get
I
unless
don't
it's
know
really bad.
where on our side that he got it because my husband did not have bad
Yeah,
acne or acne issues when he was growing up. And
yeah,
I didn't either. Like I got one
yeah,
here or there. And for
yeah,
me, it was terrifying because it was just like this volcano sitting right here or right
exactly.
here. And I was mortified.
Yeah,
But other than, and that was every so often, but other than that,
yeah.
I was fortunate that I didn't. So I don't know where my poor son got it from.
Yeah.
It's in the
Oh.
genes somewhere, but it definitely wasn't directly from his father or myself.
Yeah, I can
Bless his
imagine,
heart.
but I can tell you for a fact, acne can ruin your self-esteem because it did ruin my
Yeah.
self-esteem when I was in my
Yeah.
early 20s. So how we look is also very important. Like you cannot not say that, oh, don't care, looks, it's skin deep, but you have to make some effort. So
You have to take
yeah,
pride in
it's hard.
yourself.
Yeah, it sucked. So, I mean, there is a lot to go through in terms of, especially since the world is very superficial. There's a lot to go through when you don't look a certain way. You have to go through a whole process of, loving yourself. Um, and hey, it's hard, especially for teenagers. It's not easy, especially
Yeah.
now. I don't know. These guys are. I,
Oh, I don't either. I definitely do not envy teenagers or children growing up in
yeah,
today,
now,
this time,
yeah, yeah,
with because I agree with you, it's a lot worse than when we were growing up,
yeah,
especially me because I'm way older. But
yeah.
I don't envy them because there is so much with the saying here with keeping up with the Joneses. The grass is always greener on the other side. Because we've
Yeah,
talked about this, you see everybody's highlight reels, you never see their behind the scenes.
it's true.
And so the amount of pressure that children are feeling today
Mm,
because of that, and that's why as parents we really need to
mm,
have that communication with them and have conversations often, and maybe listen to what they're not saying to us, right? Because their actions too will speak louder than their words.
true,
So
true. Yeah. Well, yeah, so we have to be very aware. There's a lot happening in life. Like, we're busy, making a living. Yeah, it's important to take time to just, try see if there are things that you need to deal with, especially when it comes to children. Oh God, but yeah, very possible.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that they're dealing with a lot. I look at videos sometimes of like teenagers who are like 15, and I'm like, oh my God, at 15 I didn't even have I had no inclination of, did I even, oh my God, did I even think? Yeah, I was shy. I never had a phone until I was like 18. So I'm like, there's so much going on. I look at 15-year-olds making TikTok videos. I'm like, I can imagine if I was 15 and I saw this particular video, I'd probably be like, oh my God, like I wish I looked like that. I'd have so many things I'd probably start comparing myself with them,
Yeah.
and wanting to look like them, blah, blah, blah. So, oof. So I look at that and I'm like, this is not easy for
No.
teenagers out there. But hopefully, it's just
And as
as
parents,
hard.
to put a little bit more understanding toward that,
Yeah.
because I think sometimes, not all, some of us
Uh-huh.
can become dismissive with our children's problems or issues that they're having in their life,
Mm,
because relating to it is such a disconnect from where we grew up. Because especially me, I didn't grow up with computers, because the only computers you really had were in the workplace, and at home you may have had a Texas Instrument, but it was nothing fancy or nothing
yeah.
like today. You know what I'm saying? It was just not something, it was not a household staple like it is today. So
Yeah.
taking some time to understand the place and the time that our children are growing up, and cut them a little slack, I think is important. Um, so you can keep those line of communication open, so they will feel free to come to talk to you about these things that are going on in their life and or around them with their peers.
Yeah, true, true. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you for that. Um, yeah, how's your week been? I mean, mine has been good.
Uh, it's been busy. I'm very close to launching my e-commerce store.
Yeah.
Um, Yay!
Yeah, I love
I'm really
that.
hoping to having it up by tonight, if not tomorrow morning. So I just have a few things that I'm having to tweak and do.
Uh-huh.
It's been a learning experience. I was checking out one platform and had jumped in and paid that initial little fee. But once I got in there, I then realized that they take a percentage of your sales, and then to list it, they charge. And I was like, they're just nickel and diming you. So
Uh,
I went looking for somewhere else, and I did find somewhere else, and it's a much better situation. So I am really excited to get this going.
okay.
So,
Wow.
yay.
Amazing. Congrats, by
Yeah.
the way. Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, and it begins. So the
Yes,
whole,
yes. And right now, it is just North America that I'm selling
yeah.
because shipping, I don't have the overhead. And I mean, shipping is so
Yes.
expensive, especially overseas or international.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah,
beginning, not yet, probably
yeah,
get
not
more.
yet.
But I think the
Right.
North American market is very big. I think it's big enough to make someone a millionaire, even a billionaire. Yeah.
I mean,
So,
there's a lot of people here, so, and it's big,
yeah, yeah.
but
And people
yeah,
buy. All
hope
right.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I saw a video from the wedding you went to.
Yeah, the
So
traditional.
beautiful.
I know,
I
right?
loved it. Oh,
What did you
I
like
love
about
the
it?
videos. Just the music, the way everybody was dressed,
Yeah,
just everything. It was so cool. I really loved it. It was just beautiful.
I know.
So
Oh
and
my
just all the
God.
people. Oh,
I know. It's a base. So this tradition is from the Meru. She's Meru. The husband is Kikuyu because we have so many tribes. So he's getting a Meru wife. So you have to do it as per the tradition. So there's a lot of traditional elements into it, added into it. So Lord, I loved it, and it just reminded me of the wedding, my wedding, the one I'm planning. Like how you have to introduce, you have to add those traditional elements into it. So I really can't wait. Like I'm like really excited after going to that wedding. I'm like, oh God, I cannot wait
yeah.
to have similar, to do similar. So yeah, so it was so good, very inspiring, loved it. And this week, we're doing I was doing with Aiden the study plan um, for the remaining part of November to December, like a 4 week study plan. And so we did that. And I, I was learning so much. I think the first topic is for arithmetic was integer stuff. So I was doing integer stuff. And oh my God, so he's learning, but I'm also there like, hi, gosh, this makes sense. Even me, I'm learning, I'm in the process of learning. We're like, is this, because now we have Chat GPT that absolutely
Yeah.
helps. So he does it, and then we look at Chat GPT, and then we're like, oh, we are correct, and then like that, and then they even like generate questions for you, similar questions for you to practice on. Oh
Hmm.
Lord, I loved it, and
Integers.
yeah, integers.
Integers. My corny mom jokes because when the boys act up
Thank you,
and
Annette.
they play like a tit for tat, one does something so the other one does it back. I said, listen, two wrongs don't make a right unless you're in math. And that's a reference to integers because a negative plus a negative is a positive.
Negative, positive, yeah. Yeah, and then now I think the thing, at one point we were confused because I was like, -2 -6 equals to, I would have thought it would be -4. I mean, mathematics used to be like my favorite subject growing up. I fell in love with it. I've forgotten all about it. But I think it'd be negative 4, but it's -8. I was like, how now? So we had to like, and then finally we figured it out. So now he knows the whole thing, the whole thought process, how that comes to be. I loved the whole process of like, watching him learn that. And today was learning history. He was doing the industrial revolution, and so he did the reading, blah 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 blah, and then after doing the reading of the whole industrial revolution, ChatGPT generates like questions, so it's like 10 questions. So I would ask him those questions to test his understanding, and then he would explain that to me. And then, so the thing that we are adding more into that is that after he explains it to me, is for him to go do a presentation on PowerPoint and then pretend to be a teacher teaching a class and explain the industrial revolution to the class, and the class is myself. So that is his next, what is it called? His next thing that he needs to do. For every topic he learns, he needs to be able to explain what's going, like the topic, to people, trying to teach
I like
them.
that.
Yeah, trying to teach them so that it can drill down. Because the thing I remember most when I was in high school was, for me to understand, I used to teach others, because most people didn't like mathematics. So if you do a topic and people didn't understand, I'd be like, oh, you don't understand. So I'm like teaching them. So the more I taught people, the more it stuck with me, the more I learned. And it didn't, like, when exams come, I'm like, it's easy because I've already taught people. So it's the same thing I want to instill with Aiden. Like, when you learn something, teach others, like teach others so that it sticks with you. So when they ask you questions, you're like, oh yeah, and then you're able to answer those questions, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Right.
So thank
I mean,
you.
it helps you retain that information too. And so that you can
Yeah,
further understand. 'Cause it's one thing just to hear what
yeah,
is happening, but then to be able to replay back in your own words what you
yeah,
heard is a whole nother thing. So again, you're creating more memory muscles while you're doing it, until you don't just have the listening, but you have the
yeah,
writing, or the creating of the PowerPoint, and then the mouth, the speaking, and then
yeah,
again you're hearing those words again. So it just creates this whole platform of learning and retaining
yeah,
information. That's the thing, is to be able to retain what you have
retain.
learned.
Yeah, and all, yeah, I love that. Retain what you've learned, extremely important, because the whole system, education system, is like, exams are coming. You cram things, and then so the exams come, you write what you've crammed, but what is the purpose really? What's the purpose? Because when I think about what I learned in industrial revolution back in the day, I mean, I was really good. I was really good in history because I also was really good at cramming. So when I think about what I learned in industrial revolution, I actually do not remember anything. I didn't remember anything until when Aiden was presenting, was telling me this question, was answering these questions. I was like, oh, okay. And then there was this thing that came up. Apparently, they had children who were laborers during the industry. Then I asked Aiden, where did they have children who were laborers? And he's like, oh, they are children because they most were coming from poor families, and the more you have working in the factories, the more money you are
Right.
likely to make. So everyone goes to work. Five of you can bring in
Which
$5.
then led to the child labor laws
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of that. Right, right.
yeah. So yeah, so it's absolutely good. I'm enjoying it. Apparently, maybe because it's the beginning, because I know it will get boring. With life, there it is. When you start something, you're like, oh, yeah, exciting.
Well, I mean, I think
Then,
it's what you make of it. I mean, if you would have asked me, I really did not like school. My elementary, middle school, high school, didn't care
yeah,
for it. But then later, when I went to college and got my bachelor's and then got my master's, like, I loved school. I love learning.
mm,
Um, and I wish I would have appreciated it more
Back
when I
then.
was younger, but now
Yeah.
I just cannot get enough of it. I'm always
Yeah.
wanting to learn and
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
see how and why. I have a lot of why questions, so I'm always
Mm.
constantly looking up. And honestly, I was a curious kid, so I just didn't have the internet when I was growing up.
You had to
So
go to the
we had to
library.
find out the why a lot of different ways, and it wasn't through Google.
I know, right? So,
So, I mean, but I think, it taught me a lot of problem solving skills. It taught me how to be resourceful because I didn't have everything at my fingertips to learn.
yeah,
But now
yeah,
that I do, I find that curiosity even bigger because it's so easy to access information and to learn more now, today.
yeah, yeah, true. There's a whole lot of information also, so you have to be careful about what information
Yes,
you want to focus on because you cannot, want to read everything. Yeah, so you have to be laser focus on what kind of information you um are reading. So anyway, so that has been the week. I love the whole thing, and I actually strongly believe I don't see Aiden going back to school next year.
oh,
Yeah,
and
I
how
don't
does he
see.
feel about this?
Yeah, he's actually excited about it, but then he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the thing that he said is like, if he will be able, I think it was like, will I be able to follow through, without a teacher? Like the
Really? So he's
accountability bit.
concerned.
Yeah, so it's like the accountability bit was like, I will I be able to do this without having someone to, like, yeah, but I'm here, so I'll guide you through it. So I'm waiting for sorry, gosh, I've done a mistake. I was trying to like the live, then I sent an invite someone. I'm waiting for the end of the week so I can ask him, hey, so this week we've done this. Do you think you still need, do you still have the same worries, about not following through when it comes to your schoolwork? Because he has that
Right.
worry of like, will I be able to do this without a teacher? I'm like, some of things in life you will have to do them alone without having anyone else to, watch over your back. But yeah, so
Right.
so far so good. So I'll ask him how it will be, how he's feeling at the end of the week. I mean, it's the end of the week already. It's Friday, so I'll do that tomorrow, Saturday, while we are playing Scrabble or something.
Yes. Yes. Sorry,
Yeah, sorry.
sorry, I was not. I heard and was with you, but I was like, I got a notification about something, and I need to
Oh,
ask somebody else in my household
okay.
uh, if it happened. So I'm so sorry. That
No,
was
it's
very
fine.
rude. So I was like, how am I going to ask them? So I cannot stop this, but I need to know. I've been having issues with packages being delivered.
Oh,
Um, and they're for my business. And I mean, not just with the United States Post Office, because the last week or the week before, I've made like 6 claims because they'll say a package was delivered and it wasn't. And I live in a guarded and gated neighborhood. No, and
yeah.
I have elderly people who live around me. They're not going to come steal my packages. Okay.
No.
Um, and so, uh, I had to file claims and then they'd show up. Well, this last package didn't, and it was like a week later, and I had to go file a claim with the
Yeah.
Consumer Affairs, and it went through this whole thing, and the packages finally showed up. Thank God they did.
Yeah.
Um, and so, but now I have something coming through the UPS, so different, and it was saying yesterday that my package couldn't was failed to deliver because the address was not correct. And so I was looking for a phone number to call. The address was correct. I don't know why they didn't send it. And so they sent me up for a text, and I just had received a text that it was delivered. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, trying to figure out how I was going to figure out if it's really here or not. So
Yeah.
I had to use my texted my phone. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I could use my watch and I don't have to use my
yeah.
phone to text
Oh,
somebody, be like, hey, go check and see if I got packages. 'Cause if not,
that's, yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna be
weird though.
really upset.
Yeah, that's so weird. Sorry, like that's sad. I don't understand why. But I remember the package that I wanted to be delivered to your place. Um, they dispatched it today. I'm like, what the hell? I should have done this order like a month ago, apparently.
Uh, such
Yeah,
is life. I mean,
yeah.
it's just crazy. I just, I just don't understand. I've never had issues with having packages.
This
Nobody
is
has
weird.
here. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, nobody wants to deliver. And I'm like, but I need it because it's for my business, and a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
I cannot order again because, I work with glass beads and some of these mixes I get from my distributors, I can't reorder because they like make so much of this one mix and they don't make any more. So once it's gone, it's gone. You can't purchase it again.
That sucks. Is this UPS?
So today, this one has been UPS. Previous, it's been the United States Postal Service.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
but today is UPS, which, you know, I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't understand what's going on.
Sorry, sorry. And you know what? You expect a country like the US to have this streamlined. I mean, they do have some of these things are streamlined. Like, okay, I think when you come to Kenya, you'll see it's a bit different because what happens with us when we do orders online, it's like the person who's delivering will call you. Hey, I have your package, I'm bringing it. Are you home? Because they also don't want to get here. Because ours is different. Ours, you cannot, we don't have the postal office thing that you guys have. Because we don't have that, like you go put your stuff, as you can imagine, yeah, or put outside someone's door. I mean, here you can because it's safe. So it's different. So they call you, hey, I'm bringing. So you're like, yeah, I'm home, come. Then they come, then they just hand it over to you. Like they don't leave it outside unless you tell them, hey, leave it outside, I'll find it. So it's a bit different. And the thing I find, it's very fast. Like you remember that thing I ordered? I think if I was, I think the US is very big. Like you have many states. But let's say, for example, this business was in Texas and I'm ordering from Texas, same day or the next day deliver. Like people are very fast to do these deliveries. And I feel like your country, people take time. Like it's like, I
Well,
don't know.
some of the stuff I am getting, I do order from overseas. So there is a
Uh-huh.
process that when it does come over, it has to go through customs. So
Yeah,
that takes, so you have the one carrier from the origin country that you order
yeah,
from. So you
yeah,
have that tracking number, then it comes over here, it has to go through this
yeah.
whole process with customs, blah, blah, blah. Then it gets transferred to whatever carrier they're using, whether it's USPS, whether it's UPS or DHL. And so then it gets a different tracking number.
Okay,
So
yeah,
from when it comes over here to the US, and then that will determine like how fast
it's
it does
done.
get to you.
I mean,
So
yeah, sorry. So,
yeah. So I mean,
I,
and I don't know. I just think that so my understanding from the USPS, because I said, I'm not a postal worker, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm having trouble understanding how something says it's delivered and it's not delivered. And
yeah, the
they
person
responded to
lied.
me that they had a lot of new people and they were trying to work on that and
Yeah,
tell them not, if they're not sure of the address, just to bring the package back, not to leave it. So they have left packages at houses that were not correct. And I'm sorry to say, but a lot of people do not go and say, hey, this isn't mine and take it back to the post office. A lot of people will keep them. And so you'll never see that package. So
yeah.
I've had it happen here where I've had it something delivered here. And I looked at the address, and it was somewhere in the community I live in. So I did drive, put it in my GPS,
Yeah,
and drove, 'cause it's a big community, and
yeah.
found the person and delivered it to their house and let them know that it was delivered to my house, not theirs.
And not
So
everyone,
I have done that.
yeah, not everyone is as kind as you. Because I would do the same. I would do the same. Like it's not my package. Like yeah, so I would not keep it. So it's unfortunate that most people just keep that package.
Hmm. I mean, if
Um,
they weren't in this community, I would have went to the post office and said, "Hey, this was
yeah,
delivered to my address.
yeah,
I'm here. This is not the correct one." I would have done that, but I
yeah.
felt safe enough to to go to a stranger's house in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, makes sense. That's actually should that's what people should do. So anyway, well,
Yeah,
I'm hoping mine gets delivered. Gosh, and
I
they
will
don't
let you
say
know.
yeah, they don't say delivered and then it's gone to like North Carolina or something. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway,
I don't
so
know, just maybe somebody else's house. So if you get a
yeah,
confirmation saying it was delivered, because like I'll let you know if it gets here.
yeah,
But if it you haven't heard from me and it says delivered, then you need to give me tracking number, and I'm gonna
yeah,
have to give them a what for and what
yeah,
not. It's
sure.
unfortunate and it sucks. I mean, it's not that difficult to see. Okay, this is the name of the road. This is the house number, because our house number is there. And at the front of our house, our like front door is glass, and we have glass windows. There's always somebody here. We can see when you
Yeah.
come up to our door. So
Mm,
there's no mistaking if something gets delivered that we are going to see you, because our living
mm.
room's right there. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so sorry. Hope
Yeah.
you figure it out. But
I
someone needs
hope
to like
so.
come with like a if you don't just call the can't they call the person or even like I don't know.
Well,
They
and
just need
sometimes it makes it hard because um, to get information, especially if you get it from like I've been getting overseas, because they have the original and then they have to go through all this with that country's carrier to then get the other information. And so
yeah.
it's like this whole three-ring circus, just
It's a lot.
to get it. And
Okay.
it's somebody I order from on the regular. So, and I hate having to be like, "Hey, it's me again. Can I
Yeah.
have the USPS tracking?" And or because it doesn't
Yeah.
on my apps, doesn't give me um when it
Yeah.
transfers over. It doesn't then give me the other tracking number. It just keeps me with the original tracking,
Yeah.
which is weird. I would think it would like switch over and go, "Okay, since we're in the United States now, this is where you are." I don't know. I don't know. So, of course, I use all this as life lessons for my son and my nephew, to teach them what they need to do and what they should do in these circumstances. So I always take it as a teaching moment
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
them.
True.
Right.
Okay. All right. Hope you
Yeah.
figure it out. Anyway, so let
Yeah.
me go to the
Sorry.
question. It's
Yes.
okay. Yeah, so yeah, I need advice, ideas. So basically I hate Christmas. Honestly, I really do. The only time I ever tried or taken any enjoyment in it has been when my kids were little. And that was nice. But now my oldest is up in Alaska and my other son is with me and is 13, almost 14. And it's literally just us for the holiday. So there are two. We live alone. I have zero friends, no family here. In where is WA?
Oh, Washington?
Yeah, at all. My family is all at Alaska or in Texas. So not a lot of hope for family to spend the time with. Anyway, and my 13-year-old does enjoy Christmas a normal amount, always wants to make gingerbread houses, wants to leave cookies out for Santa, except he's slowly stopping that stuff. Anyway, for his sake, does anyone know any super simple, super easy things to do with him to make Christmas a bit more special, considering I'm not rich? so he won't get a ton of gifts. And I don't cook a big spread. I just get supplies at Hagendale. We usually watch a few Christmas movie, but Jesus kill me now. I hate watching them. Maybe a good place around Bellingham, Washington, to look at lights? Question mark. Ooh,
I
sorry.
mean, I'm not sure what they're really asking, or they just really need to vent
Yeah,
because, I
yeah,
mean, there's a lot of things that we do as parents for our children and
yeah,
interests that we take because our children. Um, when you have children, it's not about you, it is about your child.
yeah.
And you make sacrifices um,
Mm,
to taking an interest in what they're interested in,
yeah, true.
because it's important, and I have done this and have then really started liking this one, certain type like dinosaurs. I was not much into dinosaurs, but my son loved and was obsessed with dinosaurs since he was like 2 years old. And
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, dinosaurs. And now I'm like, woohoo, dinosaurs. So, things can turn out like that. But, as far as this question with what she's talking about, you need to stay within your means
yeah,
financially,
yeah,
and do whatever it is that you can do.
if,
And this is where I'm saying, like, the internet is so easy to get on there and go, you know, homemade Christmas ideas, um,
mm,
inexpensive Christmas gifts, inexpensive activities to do with a 13-year-old for Christmas. And I mean, the world is literally at your fingertips
yeah,
to put in that information, and you gear them toward, what your likes are, what your child's likes are, and
yeah,
move forward that way, you know?
yeah. I empathize with her because I'm not a big fan of Christmas because I feel it's like over. It's like, there's a lot of expectations during Christmas. There's expectation from family, expectation from your children. There's just so much pressure around the holidays, pressure to buy lights, to buy what, to buy stuff. So there's a lot of pressure around Christmas. And I think I understand where she's coming from. And I think just start with like accepting that they're just the two of them and figure out, what to do.
Right.
And just be grateful, grateful that, the sun is there.
Yeah.
Um, Grateful that, they're alive and cook, baking cookies, watching movies in your PJs,
Mm-hmm.
or, going out somewhere to eat something on Christmas Day would just be something nice. And I think here she's trying to put a lot of pressure on herself. Like, I have to do all these things to make,
Yeah.
or it would be better if family was here. But who knows, really? Who knows? Just accepting the situation
Right.
as is. Family is not there, family is far away, so that is not an option. So instead of suffering and, mulling over, oh, I wish family was there, which I also actually wish,
Right.
that I was together with the people I love. But it's fine, it's okay. So it's more of like, oh, it's fine, let me, try and make this day special. And every other day,
Exactly.
so
And
yeah,
within your means, I mean, go ahead.
but Christmas has a lot of expectations, a lot of pressure put on parents, and that's why I think the hate comes from, wanting to look
Yeah.
like this is perfect family together, taking
But see, that's
photos,
the thing.
sweaters.
They need to quit comparing, and you need to do what fits your lifestyle, what fits your budget. And it's just, for many years, I grew up in a military family and we lived overseas. So it
Yeah,
was always just the four of us. We didn't
yeah,
have grandparents, cousins, or any of that. And so, really, that saying, home is where the heart is. Holidays is where the heart is. So, with those that are right there, yes,
yeah,
would it be nice if you had this, that, or all these people in this big spread? Sure.
yeah,
But is that where it's at? No. So instead of living on, well, I couldn't do this, because then you're not going to be happy in the moment with what you do
Yeah.
have, and
Yeah,
having to
absolutely.
make those decisions. I mean, I never in my life would have had two Christmas trees in my house. I do now.
Yeah.
Um, but that's also because we have two families. So it's, myself, so I have my Christmas tree, my brother has his Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Um, and so, and now there's room to do stuff like that. But before,
Yeah.
it was just, a regular size Christmas tree. And then, it was just my husband, my mom, my son, and I when we were, up in Tennessee. And now it's just us, and we like that. I don't want to go to a million different houses and do, all this stuff around the holidays. I just want to be with my immediate
Family.
family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
and spend it with them, and not have to worry about getting all dressed up, and just to enjoy
Yeah.
the day and the moments that come with it, whatever
Yeah.
it is. I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for Halloween decoration. I mean, Halloween,
Christmas.
Christmas decorations.
I'm not.
So
Uh-huh.
I love the lights. I love going to
Yeah.
look at the lights. I am
Yeah.
obsessed with Christmas music. I love watching Christmas movies. I
Yeah.
just like the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I love about it, is the
Yeah.
spirit of it. And with kids, even though the kids are getting older, I like doing special things.
Yeah.
Um, and new things, and it's just fun for me, and that's
Yeah.
not for everybody.
For sure.
you know
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not for everybody. I don't really care if I get anything, but I like making it special for other people, like I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
yeah.
I would need some of those. I feel like I'm the Grinch in Christmas, but I do my best to make yeah, so I've never had a Christmas tree.
I
No.
mean, it's just, speaking, like we're gonna have here in America, we're gonna have Thanksgiving next week.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's just like my brother, my mom,
Mm-hmm.
myself, my nephew, and my son. So it's just five of us here. And, in the years past, we've made so much food. And my brother's like, well, why are you making that much? It's just us. And really, it is. So this year, I am really cutting down on it because I don't have to make all that food.
Yeah.
We don't have all those people, and it's
Yeah.
okay to do it. And we're changing it. We're not doing turkey, we're doing brisket. So, um, you know, and I usually make several desserts, and I'm only going to make my one dessert. Circo has taken up and said he's going to make a dessert. So I think today or tomorrow I'm going to take him to get his ingredients, because he's also going to buy them with his own money, uh, and make it.
Yeah.
So I have to
That's
let you know.
Yeah, that's nice though. I love
Yeah.
that. I mean, I think the overall thing is this: Christmas is highly
Yes.
commercialized for a holiday that is meant to be very intimate, with
Right.
family, blah, blah, blah. So now you have all these expectations, all these things that people are telling you need to do. You need to buy lights, fill the house with lights, you need to take your family on vacation or stuff. There's a lot of
How are they taking people
pressure.
on vacation? I can barely get through Christmas. I can't go on vacation on top of that.
Pressure. There is pressure to show up a certain way. There is pressure to buy matching sweaters and take a photo with family, which I'll probably do down the line when I have the spirit of Christmas that will suddenly hit me. But that's out
The
to,
matching Christmas PJs.
yeah,
I've never done
that,
that. I've never done that.
that's something I plan to do that. I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Do Christmas according to your, live within
Yes.
your means when it comes to Christmas. Don't
Yes.
put so many expectations on yourself. Like, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to know, they're
Yep.
doing that. Nah, don't do that. Just live within your means, make it special, eat something, like, make it intimate. You don't have
Create
to,
your own special traditions. That's what
yeah,
I say. Create your own traditions.
yeah, I love that.
Not everybody else's. Create yours.
True, not what everyone else is doing. So the next question is, my teens have my teens. Okay, my teens or my teen. My teen has been especially horrible to me lately. Just getting very detailed about all things they say I'm doing wrong and I've done wrong. Teens, there are many. And my husband says he supports me but doesn't lay down any rules and calls me a spaz. I don't know what a spaz is.
A spaz is meaning like she's all over the place. So
Oh,
having a hard time staying on subject. She's here, she's there, and maybe pretty emotional. So when things go on, she's like, rah, so it's just a spaz.
I find myself wondering why I've wasted 20 years on these people who don't seem to like or respect me, and I'm wondering if I should cut my losses. Anyone done that?
Ouch. This
Yeah.
person is definitely in the feels and going. But here's the thing, cutting your losses and running away is not going to solve the issues at hand.
Yeah.
As I said, what you resist will persist. So if you cut your losses and leave, guess what? If you're not changing what you're doing, you're going to find yourself in the same predicament.
Again, yeah.
So she needs to take in words out of your book, needs to start being curious about herself and asking why. These are
Yeah.
multiple people in her household saying the same thing. So there is something that she is doing that she is not seeing and or working toward or changing. And so
Yeah.
leaving the situation is not going to fix that issue at hand. Like I said, it will continue into other relationships that she has. So she really needs to take a look at herself and figure it out what is going on and why maybe she's having the big reactions that she's having and unpack those boxes and work on that before she can move forward.
Yeah. Hi, Anita. Nice to see you here. This is such a difficult one, but I know the moment I know this like from, doing the inner work journey, like the moment you blame, attack, defend, get defensive, or, be in a certain way where your emotions are like they're doing it wrong, they're not seeing what I'm doing to them, then there has to be something wrong. And you need to look at yourself, right?
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we cannot change other people's behavior, but we
right.
can change ourselves, and then they might pick on that. So I think she just needs to acknowledge her own contribution to the situation as is, and be like, you know
Right.
what, I'm gonna move forward with peace and calm within myself, which is difficult. I know it's easy. Another thing is this way. Yeah, the husband is there. I feel like the husband should be the rock. Yeah, it should be us against them. If there is an us against, if there is a fight, it should be us together, us holding a fort. And maybe there is something going on here between them that they need to figure out and bring in like a more united front, so she feels like she's supported by him. I mean, I guess the comment for Spurs made her mad. I think that's probably the reason why she went on the whole rant, that she got
Well,
that
I mean,
comment.
if it's
Yes.
been said before, and we don't know the context in which it
Yeah.
was said, because she could have took what was said to her and been like, oh, he's calling me a spaz. You know what I'm saying? And that
Yeah.
might not have even been what was said. And, we don't know how many conversations have been had between the two, and not that he's not supporting her in the because like we only hear what she's having to say, right?
Oh, yeah, true, true.
And so there's many other things that could be happening behind those closed doors that maybe there was conversations had. And again, maybe she is not following through with
Yeah,
those things, you know?
true. Yeah, I mean, I
There's
agree
so
with you.
much.
Yeah, there's so much there.
Hmm.
Oof. And it's sad. It's just, I know, I know it's difficult to start looking within yourself and try to find peace and within yourself and calm, so that whatever someone else says or what they do does not actually affect you to a point where you're like, oh, I want to leave everything and go. And also the
Yeah.
aspect like, getting to a point where you don't need the validation of others. I don't need my children's validation, or they cannot actually control my emotions, like to a point where they're like making me feel like I want to quit this thing, I want to leave. So
Right,
I mean,
because
things
nobody
are
can make you feel any way, but you can allow their
then,
words to affect you. You're allowing that, right?
yeah. There's
Because
a lot.
they're just words, and that's hard to explain to people. Like, people can't make you mad, people can't piss you off or make you sad. You can choose to be mad by what they're saying, you can
Yeah,
choose to be sad by what they're saying, but they can't make you. You are in control of yourself and your feelings.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I guess, yeah, there's no, yeah, just say don't quit, just work through it. And
I mean, ultimately, it's her
ultimately,
decision what she thinks she needs to do. That's not
it
a
is,
question to be asking what everybody else, what should I do? At the end of the day, it's your life, but 20 years and you just want to throw that away, and even your children, and
yeah,
because she obviously feels um, um, instead of taking what they're saying as as punches at her, you know what I'm saying? She's not stopping to look at herself, and sometimes those when those things are brought up, it can sting. But again, it comes back to being curious. Okay, this person's saying it, this person's saying it, this person's saying it,
yeah,
so yeah,
yeah,
I need to take accountability. What is it that I am doing that is provoking this? And it can
yeah,
suck, and those feelings suck, and it kind of
yeah,
stings to hear it, but if
yeah.
nothing changes, nothing changes.
True, true. Anyway, so there is a question here. Let me two more questions. I need this. I want to know from parents that took their daughter to therapy around preteen, early teen years. I don't know what to do with my girl anymore. She's constantly getting into trouble. I can't go 1 week without finding something out or getting a call from a teacher, principal, coach. It's exhausting. It's embarrassing. It's emotionally draining. We've tried every consequence in the book. She hasn't had her phone for months now. She's missed out on friends, parties. She sat out sports games. We've taken away other items from her. We've yelled, we've lectured, we've gentle parented. Nothing works. Ooh, therapy is my next route. I don't want her to think something is wrong, but something's gotta change. Any advice?
So first of all, going to therapy doesn't mean there has to be something wrong. So let's just take that negativity out. And I hate that that stigma is still out there. They think, oh, if I go to therapy, that I'm just like a nutcase or something. That is not the case. Therapy is a great place to go and talk to somebody that does not know you, your situation, and to walk alongside you in this journey to figure out so you can move forward and unpack those boxes in a safe space. So that's first of all. Um, but therapy is definitely the place to go. If at this point you have done this, because there might be some underlining um, issue that is there, right? Because even as parents, we're so involved in the situation, we could be missing out on something that is there. So, going to therapy can help this individual work through something and also be a moderator between the parents and the child, and to be able to open up that communication
Yeah.
so both can work on the situation at hand.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this, obviously therapies have the knowledge, they know what's going on based on what
Right.
someone is saying. But there's obviously a cry for help here. Someone is crying for help with all this
Yes.
rebellious behavior. There's something, there's a need. There's a need that needs to be met. They need to
Right.
discover it. And I guess, sometimes you just can't do it on your own. You need help from a professional.
Exactly.
Yeah, but
And there's
think
nothing wrong
about
with
it.
that.
Some people cannot afford a therapist. So what to do if this situation happened and you are not able to afford a therapist? Because in my culture, therapy is something that rich people do.
Well, I mean, even here in America, I mean, it was so taboo, and only up into the recent decade has it been something that has been so talked about. And not that, so and so was walking into the psychiatrist office and, ooh. Um, so even here, because there was that stigma of you're going there because there's a
Hi,
problem.
Monica. Sorry. Sorry, I
But
saw
it's
that.
kind of like one of those things. If you are not feeling well, or if you have a broken bone, you're not going to go, I'll put some duct tape on it and it'll heal itself. No, you're going to go to an orthopedic surgeon and get that stuff fixed, right?
Yeah.
And so, same with your mental health. If there's something going on, you go and reach out to the correct provider to get that help. And I don't know. Um, Also, with parenting, you know how to say this, when you're having to do the discipline and taking things away, make sure that the time fits the crime, right?
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in, oh, I'm always having to do this and I'm always having to do that and I'm just going to take it away forever, because that's not going to solve anything.
Yeah.
And then at this point you keep taking everything away, the child is like, I don't give a shit. What are you going to do? I have nothing else for you to take away. I'm just going to keep
Yeah.
doing what I'm
Nothing to
doing,
lose.
because that attention is still not getting met that they need. And
Yeah.
so they're like, if I'm not going to get it in a positive way, I'm going to do it in a negative way. And it's not that children sit there and think, right here, oh, I'm going to do this in this negative way. It's just the way
Yeah.
it comes out, because they are getting a reaction from you, whether it's positive or negative,
That's
and
it.
it's being
Yeah.
reinforced.
True.
And so, which one is being reinforced more? That's the one that's gonna, they're gonna keep going for.
Yeah. They might, yeah, anyway, yeah. So, whew, damn,
Yeah.
damn. I don't know, Kim. Like, oof, I don't
It's
want to,
tough. Being a parent's tough.
yeah. And like,
Yep.
yeah, why would someone decide to make your life difficult? No. Oh, anyway, so, reminds me though, like I had to take away Aiden's video game, because he lost his there's something he lost. Three things. He lost his mathematical set, his um gosh, what's the other thing? Calculator. Like, I feel like, like I don't, I feel like you are not actually taking care of your things. Yeah, they were stolen in school apparently. And then I'm like, why didn't you tell me the same day that this was stolen? No, I told grandpa. I was like, yeah, but you need to tell me because I'm the one who bought them. Like, you should have told me that. And you know what happens when you tell me things after you've done them. And I find out later, like, I'm not happy. So I took his game. So yesterday, he's not had his game yesterday, today. Probably I think I'm giving him back tomorrow. So I'm like, yeah, it's sad. Rather than today, he was hanging out, like he's seated at the what is it called? The outside. What is that called? That
The
place?
balcony, the
Yeah, balcony. So he's seated at the balcony. He seemed bored. I'm like, hey, Aiden, you seem bored. He's like, no. I'm like, Aiden, so what are you up to? He's like, I'm bored. I'm like, to be bored is actually a good thing. Trust me. Then he
right.
laughed. He's like, how is it a good thing? Like it is. One day you'll know it's a good thing, but it's good to be bored. So, so his games would keep him busy after study. Now he has nothing. So hopefully he picks up a book and starts reading because there's a book he was reading. Who Moved My Cheese? Oh, okay. So he was reading Who Moved My Cheese. So that's what he's currently reading. And what we are doing is when he reads the book, Who Moved My Cheese, the next step for him is to write an essay about what he's read. So he's currently doing the essay, which is actually taking so long. I'm like, why are you taking so long doing this particular essay? He's like, oh, I need to make it really good. I'm like, yeah, but I have a deadline. So now I put a deadline. So tomorrow I need the essay submitted. So he actually finishes it because he's been procrastinating on the same. So yeah, so I love the fact that after reading a book, he has to write an essay to me just to explain to me what is happening in that book, like his understanding of the book, with intro, body, and finally the conclusion. So for me, I feel like that's actually an amazing way to teach children how to actually form the habit of reading and writing. Writing is extremely important for our children. One of the things, I think one of the high paying skills is people who know how to write. When you know how to write, you're able to sell. So you're able to sell to people because you can actually write things that, can move people into making a buying decision. So teach your children how to write, and most importantly, teach them the habit of reading. So that should actually be an amazing thing for your kids. I think the other thing that I'm learning with my son is that he wants to be constantly entertained, right? Like entertained. So he wants to be constantly entertained. So if he's not reading or doing his schoolwork, he wants to be playing video games or he wants to watch the TV. But I want him to learn that that aspect of being constantly stimulated is not right. You need time to take away time just on yourself, just thinking, because we live in a world where all of us are looking for constant stimulation. You're either sitting down watching the TV, you're either sitting down to work, you're either sitting down to scroll on your phone. So we are constantly stimulated. And at the end of the day, what does that mean? We don't have time to think. We don't have time to think critically about ourselves, about our lives, where we're at in life, where we want to be. So we are busy, especially busy making a living, especially as parents, busy making a living, never having the time to actually say, you know what is it I'm doing? Where do I want to be? Measuring the results of where you are going. Now, that is also extremely important, that we teach our children it's okay to be bored. That bored term. And bored term means that I'm not constantly stimulated. Bored term means I'm probably reading a book that they call reading a book actually boring. Or just sitting down and looking at the environment. That is boring. So I think it's important. It's important that we teach our children to take time off, all this stimulation, go out, play. I love the fact that my son loves to go out play. So I have times where he's out playing. I love that fact. Children need to play. Children need to be out playing. The fact that you can have your child on a phone or a tablet or on the TV or playing video games the whole day, especially now that we have holidays, that is extremely dangerous. And one of the things that I'm scared about, I think currently, is the fact that I want to get him a phone soon because he actually needs it, because he goes for football practice and he has to go with my phone because he needs to get a cab to go, come back. So, and then I need to monitor his movement. So with the phone, I can monitor where he is, blah, blah, blah. So that's something I plan to do for him. And again, it's a very difficult, so it's like I'm a bit conflicted with that. And I have now to teach him how to, manage. I know the same way I do with his computer, I'll probably now start monitoring. Like at a certain point, the computer just goes off because time is up.
Still, but they delivered my packages over to your house.
Sorry?
Um,
That's key. I think she's doing something with with her packages. She's doing something with her packages. Anyway, so as I was saying, like yes, it was a bit of a conflict. Like the whole I monitor what he's doing on his machine, and he has a limit on his machine. And if there's something he's doing that is productive, I can increase that limit. So with the phone, the same thing will happen. All apps will have a limit, like you cannot use your phone more than this particular time each day. And the most important thing is to think about it is that the average human being currently spends 4 hours a day on their phone scrolling. What are they doing? Just scrolling. So the generation that we are raising is of children that are actually, addicted to phones. So how can you be productive? How can you, and be productive is not just about, being productive is not just about, doing work. It's also about producing things that people will look at and be like, oh, this is an original piece. Because most of us are not able to do that. Most of us are not able to produce things that are produce things that are an original piece because we spend so much time consuming. The biggest mistake, Ching, thank you. The biggest mistake you can do is spend most of your time consuming content. What you need to do is produce. Find a way to produce. And it could be at your job, whatever it is, you need to find a way to produce. And the more you spend time consuming, the worse your mental health will become, the worse your body will become, because everything starts with the mind. And that translates to your life. It affects your life in negative ways. So important. Yes, an average human being is spending 4 hours a day on their phone scrolling. It's a lot of time to spend on the phone. So the children we're raising. So if, as Cecilia, I'm spending 4 hours a day on my phone, what do I expect from my son? And that's what's important. Even if you tell our children, hey, don't spend so much time on your phone or on screens, blah, 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 you also have to show them. I would not, it's rare for me to find me watching the TV. And it has to be very intentional. It's very rare. Like I would go a day without watching the television. And you'd see me doing my work. My son would see me doing my work. My son will see me read a book. My son will see me do my content. So he's watching. So I'm not just telling him, hey, you need to read. And I don't even have a book myself I'm reading. Like that is double standards. And that's what used to happen with our parents. Our parents used to tell us, do this, but then we look at them, they don't do the same thing. So the generation that we are bringing up, the generation that was brought up with our parents, a generation of hypocrites. Hypocrites, blah, blah. So it's a generation of hypocrites because now we have people who pretend, because we were brought up, like I remember when my dad would come in, I would be quickly taking a book to pretend that I'm reading, right? I would quickly take a book pretending that I'm reading that particular book. But then after he's left, I'm like doing other things. So we've raised a generation of hypocrites because we are telling our children, hey, do this, but we're not doing the same thing. So it's important. If you're telling your child to do something, please do the same thing so they follow what you do, not what you say. Oh, people are tired of me talking. Anyway, so yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
Yeah, so your package is back.
Yeah, but so I want to take that because it was the local place here, and I heard I might get
Thank you,
a
Annette.
call, and it was them, and they said, "Oh no, we delivered it," and I said, "Oh no, you didn't." So I had to then come back, get my phone, go look out, and they described what the place looked like. I said, "I don't have a white door, and I have no purple plants in front of my
Yeah,
house."
yeah.
And I said, what does the outside of the house look like? Because they asked, do you live on this road and this road? And I was like, yeah, that is where this is. They delivered it all the way across the street. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, well, it's probably over there. And she goes, well, I'll stay on the line. I'm like, crap. I had to go get my shoes and go walk all the way across the street. My packages were there, but then I had to knock on the door and to let them know I'm not just stealing packages, that they were mine. And then he's a sweet older man. And he's like, here, let
Yeah.
me carry him for you. And I'm like, no, you don't have to. And he goes, it's my one good deed for the day. He's a retired cop. And I said, okay.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
I'm sorry
Yeah.
about that. It was a little
No,
crazy,
it's okay.
but
It's
I got
okay.
him.
No
So
problem.
yay.
Yeah, I'm glad you got it. I'm so happy for that.
Yeah. And it's so crazy because right outside my door, my
Yeah.
number to my house is right there. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
So how they think that was the right one? And I told her, and she goes, "Oh, we have new people. They don't know how to read. Then they really shouldn't be in this job." Because I would
Yeah.
think reading and following directions would be like a prerequisite for this
You know
job in
what? You know what
particular.
it is? You know what it is? It's actually not paying attention.
I mean,
Yeah.
uh,
They're not
if you
paying
only
it.
knew this area and where it is, it's hard not to. Because even if you put it in the GPS, it will say that my house is on the right side, not the left
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Well,
But
anyway.
I got my package.
So,
That's all that matters at this point.
yeah, so now it's good.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So let's
Sorry for the
do,
disruption. I
no, it's
apologize.
fine. No problem. So let's do the last question.
Okay.
All right. So, whew, this is a long one. Um,
Gotta stretch out before we do this one. Stretch it out. Okay.
so
I'm
let
ready.
me start. Let me start. My son's teenage girlfriend is not right for him. Let me start by saying she's a nice girl, overall respectful. I don't hate her at all, but she's not right for him. My son is a high schooler, very active in school band, does all the bands in the highest curricular band, does the marching, the pep, the extras like jazz, etc. Loves band and is very talented. Wow. Met a great group of friends, started hanging out with friends from band. Overall, I was pleased. He's found a great group of supportive people. He developed a crush on one of them. Really nice girl. They were in all the bands together. He never asked her out, but they hung out all the time, did stuff together, hung out together. He would get her gifts, etc. Would become irritated if I asked if he was planning to ask her out. Then 6 months ago, out of the blue, informs me he asked out another girl in one of his classes. Okay, shock to me. I'm also shocked. My son is quite the follower type, so he slightly picks up on their behaviors, etc., and emulates them. This girl has had some real mental health issues. 2 years ago, she was hospitalized in a mental facility. She cut herself, burned things, etc., ADHD, anxiety. Her parents found the help for her and she continues to do therapy and is on medication. Let me reiterate, she's a nice girl. She does her
You
part
know,
to
when I can I stop you? Because just from the beginning, uh, it's kind of like telling somebody, I love you, but. Because when you
yeah,
say, I love you, but disregard
yeah,
everything that was said before the but, because it's
yeah.
what happens after the but that they really mean.
She's a nice girl
So
again.
I'm just going to call that one out right now. You don't like the girl. There's nothing you like about her because, frankly,
Yeah,
pointing out somebody's mental health issues that they have under control and are working on,
yeah,
I have an issue with that. Okay. Because
yeah,
we are all perfectly imperfect. Because she's
yeah,
nice, this, that, and the other already. What you're
yeah.
saying, like you have an issue with all that, and it sounds like a you problem. I'm sorry, I'm a little defensive on this one.
Anyway,
Continue.
so anyway, my son has stopped hanging out with all his friends and really isolated himself from them. Instead, he hangs out with her friends. That pisses me off, but he made his choice. So my son has now developed anxiety because because before her he was not anxious, he's quiet, he hated loud rooms, but never had real mental issues. Now, while he's in therapy and on meds, I'm not sure if he's faking, but I'm also not going to not to listen to his concerns either. He emulates how she speaks. She's kind of screamy, like she just lets out random yells. So he has a job. He likes his job a lot. He's expected to maintain decent grades. Other than that, I don't feel like we expect a lot from him. His girlfriend, she does nothing. Hates school, hates people. She does zero extracurricular curricular activity, and her parents don't push her to get a job at all. This bothers me tremendously. She doesn't want to go to college. She has no future plans. That's all okay for her parents. In the meantime, my son spends a ton of his hard-earned money on her, and that
Okay, but
hurts.
he spent a lot of his money on the other girl that you approved of. So if you approved, this would not be a problem.
Yeah, she makes excuses for things. She got a low grade in class, and her parents told that she either has to go to a summer job to get a summer job or retake the class in summer school. She did neither of those things. I don't really know the point of posting. I'm just bothered by this all. I'm hoping it plays out. He will see the light soon. I'm just grumpy about it. I don't say anything up to him about it. I'm just very frustrated by his enormous change.
Okay, so mom's venting.
Yeah.
Mom's venting is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these things about the girlfriend, she's projecting a lot of herself and her feelings as a parent onto this girl, and
Yeah.
taking out what the anger that she has toward the parents that are
Yeah.
not correcting what she feels they should correct. She's now projecting that onto the child when you know the child not doing it is still underage and has two parents, or at least one,
Yeah.
right, in the household. So those are the ones that should be holding her accountable for following through, not following through. If, a child will only do what they can get away with. So if she has been allowed to get away with these things, it's because her parents have allowed these behaviors and have not helped work through these behaviors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think mom's anger is misplaced, and it really is, because there is nothing that she can do about this girl and how she's parented or how her parents are parenting,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is outside this mom's realm, like her circle.
Yeah.
This is not part of her circle. So as irritating as it is, there's nothing she can do. Now,
Mm.
however, her son is involved, so it's her love for her son who, as parents, we feel, we see this ideal person that we feel our um, children should be with.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
but
Yeah.
I'm just so conflicted because she's like, oh no, she's a nice girl, she's this, but there's this, and this.
He's not
I
nice.
feel like she really doesn't care for this individual, um, because that's a lot of angst she put in that, and a
Yeah,
lot of
it is. Yeah.
frustrations of not being able to do anything, trying to support your son, but being frustrated at the same time. The situation is what it sounds like.
I think the son is 16. I mean, yeah, I think it's proper to, I mean, he went from such a out like boy who's doing like really well to now being in anxiety medication. I mean, there is a big change there. I would actually be worried if I was her. I mean, I would be in the same place. Like, yeah, I mean, again, when I
But
think
it's so much we don't know, because there are a lot of symptoms of anxiety that people mask even at a young age. They mask to fit in, and so um maybe those anxiety and those things were always there, but since meeting this his new girlfriend, that he feels open enough to start expressing and to be putting it out there. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who mask, autism, symptoms to fit in, not that they're trying to fit in, but they'll subconsciously do masking. Anxiety is the same thing. People with ADHD will tend to do a thing, and it's subconscious, to fit in and not show those things, Uh, and because we're not in a situation, all we can say is, make assumptions of what
yeah.
could be or could not be the issue. You know what I'm saying? As we said, as parents, sometimes we can be a little blinded by activities because, oh, he's doing well, he's in this and doing that. But that does not take from that maybe there was some anxiety in there. And I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we need to look at the whole picture, or she needs to look at the whole picture, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much, again, because we're only reading and seeing what is going on. I can see, like you, her concern that, from in her eyes, there was nothing to all of a sudden she's with this person who has all this, and now there's something. I can see that.
Yeah.
But again, in your words, be a little bit more curious. Maybe there may have been something that you missed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it. Love them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I ultimately, like, I would say keep an eye on them. I personally would not trust her with my son. Like, based on what I read here, based on what she says,
But I
I
don't know
wouldn't.
because, again, I'm conflicted by what she says because she goes, "Oh, she's a nice girl. She's this, she's
No,
that." But
she
then
was
there's
trying.
this.
She was trying to be nice. Her parents actually are not involved. Like, you see, if you want, when you look back at when it was common even in some cultures to have arranged marriages, when they used to have arranged marriages, or rather when some cultures still have arranged marriages, you look at a family whose values are similar to yours. If you want your daughter to be married into that home, or you want your son to
Yeah,
marry, so like you look at the parents, or like, do they hold this child accountable?
sure.
Do we have things in common? Blah blah blah. Like, you don't want your child to hang out with someone who does not care about her education, because they will likely pick up those behaviors, because we know a rotten apple makes the good apple rotten.
But I would be curious because there is something that has attracted her son to this individual.
I think might be because they say, remember, there's that other girl. I think the other girl, maybe he liked the other girl, as you can see, he was giving her gifts, but then maybe he tried to ask her out and she was like, nah.
Yeah, she did not reciprocate the feelings. It was just a friend zone, maybe.
Yeah, now he's like, he went, I don't know, maybe that was like, I need to leave that behind and move on to something else. So if she
So, I
doesn't
mean,
like,
even
yeah,
if he got friend zone, he started dating this girl. So he's seen something that has attracted him in this other female. So again, there's something he likes about her. He's with her. So, you know, it's easy to make assumptions when you're not in the relationship
yeah,
as to what's truly going on. And so I don't know. I would maybe have more conversations with my son,
mm,
ask more questions, be more curious about the relationship and what he
yeah,
likes in her, what he sees in her, and,
yeah,
being more curious about it that way,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah. I mean, yeah, how maybe he needs some help to maybe
Maybe
he
she's
if
providing
they,
something that he needs that he's not getting. And, I don't
yeah,
know what that need is
yeah,
because I'm not in the relationship and I'm not his parent.
yeah,
But maybe she is fulfilling some need he has. What that is, I don't know.
yeah,
But be
true.
curious, stay involved, don't push him away, but stay involved, monitor the situation.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
so, best you can do. I can't really tell you what to do. I mean, that's your household, your child. Um, I'm just trying to weave and answer, put my input in to what they put out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway,
Yeah,
life. That being
life.
said, yeah, it's the end of the questions.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much, Kim. Is now.
Thank you. And again, I'm sorry for having to leave
Yeah, it's fine.
for
No
that little bit.
problem.
I'm so sorry. I apologize to everybody.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. So, when should I check to see if there's a video up on here?
I'm gonna eat lunch, and so after lunch, I'll get it posted. I'll send you a text.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I'll post that. Yeah. Anyway, all right, Kim, thank you so much.
Thank
Be
you.
blessed. Be blessed.
You too.
Say hi to
Well,
everyone.
I will.
Okay.
Same to you.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Au revoir.